morning. I want to talk about our culture of excess. It's something that marks our nation very well. It's sad, but it is very much a reality. Uh, we have a lot of stuff. We eat a lot of stuff. We don't really know what it is to actually go without. And we don't really have to worry about it. We've been absolutely blessed. We live in a nation um, that is not an issue, but it really is an issue. And if you go to a third world nation and you stay there for a little while, you can get a very good idea as to how much excess we really do live in. But until you step outside the bounds of excess, it's very hard to see what you really need or really what you don't need. And so I just want to challenge you to take the time to look into your life and see where there just is too much. And if it is too much, why do you have too much? Is it filling a void? Is it giving you affirmation and status? Is it giving you value? Is it making you feel better? It's probably not. We think that it is. But I want to tell you a really quick story. And this was a part of my life I realized this just a couple of years ago, but I used to have a lot of pairs of shoes, and mostly workout shoes, running shoes, gym shoes, all of that. But I had a million pairs of flip-flops, and I had a million pairs of boots, and I had a million pairs of flats, and I had a million pairs of heels, and I just had a lot of pairs of shoes. And I was getting ready to move to Kona, and I was in my closet, and I was going through my closet to give things away, to sell things, and I was looking down at all of my shoes. And very clearly, not asking the question, not praying, no nothing, I hear God say, "You can keep two." And I stopped and said, "I'm sorry, excuse me, what do you see how many shoes are here? I can't just keep two. There's too much there." And two. Just two. And it was mostly just my athletic shoes that were the two, because they were the really big problem. And so after a while, trying to figure out what that was and what void shoes were filling, and it took me a while, but I began to realize that if I was feeling sad or I wasn't feeling very loved, I would actually go buy shoes. I remember at one point in this little season of life, I bought 4 pairs of shoes in one day. I was a mess. And it really boiled down to when my dad used to come in town and visit me, he would take me out shopping and he'd buy me a pair of shoes. And that was his love language. It was the way in which he showed me that he loved me. And I would put them next to my bed, and I would look forward to wearing them the next day, because of the void of love that it actually filled. I wasn't expecting that, but that was a place of my life where there was excess. And there's plenty of other areas, and your story might look different than mine, but when we come to realize why we have an excess of things, or why our culture is so excessive, we can look at voids that aren't being filled with relationship and with love, and cravings that we have that aren't being filled by God, and just an emptiness that we think by getting other things or putting things in our mouth, that by doing this, it will make the problem go away. It will make the pain stop. But ultimately, it doesn't. And so I want to challenge you this week, if you do have an area where you have excess, to ask yourself why. And like I said, it could be food. It could be in excess of exercise. It could be an excess of chocolate. It could be an excess of shoes. It could be an excess of lip gloss. I mean, it could be anything, guys. Fishing poles, or guns, or manly things. Sorry, but manly stuff. But there's just an excess of tangible things that really aren't doing the trick. And so I'd like to challenge you to that this week, to try and figure out where you're living in excess and why you are, and getting free of that so that you can live a life where you're being filled by the proper things and the right things and the real things, and you've moved aside the mess to open up excess in your heart to be filled by the right and proper things, rather than by the stuff of the world that we think will make this better. So dig in deep,